button here. All right, let's get started. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit of how to trade manually and algo. Uh, for this is day trade for day traders only. This is not long term or swing trading. This is basically short term. And if you're a day trader, you want to make quick money, and you can do it, but you must learn how to do it. When to go into a trade. It's a lot of waiting around. It's and one of the things that day traders, a lot of people teach out there, it's after the fact. Uh, we're looking at this chart. This chart is right now in front of you. You should be looking at ES. Just want to make sure you are there. Yeah, you're looking at this ES chart right there. The thing is, a lot of people don't know is when to get into the trade, into this trade here, because they teach you after the fact when it breaks down. Hey, you should have got into the trade here. This is where the stock went down. That's where you should have got in. But when it's at the time when you are actually trying to get into the trade, you don't know where you're getting into a trade. You don't know when to get into a trade. So that's what I want to teach you. And I want to first, just gonna go over the algo, then I'll go manually. How to take the how do you take the algo, and how do you trade manually as well? Same time, you can do that. So first, I'm just gonna quickly go over the algo, how to trade with the algo. So what I got is here, right here, is this is what I use for trading if I for automatic. Basically, this is where I have a 5 or 6 different setups. You guys have all access to it through TradingView. But let me show you how to get into the trade. So I use this as a, first of all, how do you set it up? So the way I set this up is, you guys all pretty much know, so I'm going to go over it anyway. So you go into alerts here when you're trading this system. You're basically coming in here, you select this, if you already have the algo set up here, you select that and you pick this here. And when you go into here price, you select this one here. Okay. That's when you are in the, you got the algo selected. Then you go into the message. You need to set up your webhook, okay, in TradingView if you want this to take trades in your account, in your interactive broker account, in your paper trading account, in your whatever that, prop fund accounts. If you want to do it there. For prop funds, you can do it there as well. And it's the same setup. It's no difference to doesn't matter what brokerage you have, they're all the same. So then you gotta go in here, then you gotta set up the message depending on what algo that you're using, because everybody has a different algo. You can use a webhook for any message, okay, depending on what strategy. The ones I use you guys all know the software that I use, okay. So for that software, I need a different message, and the setup for that message is basically, I'm going to show you here that one already. I already got a setup here. So the one I have already set up here is here. Going to go here. This is the message that I need to set up for the software that I got. So when it does, it takes this message here, and then it sends it to that middle software. The middle software sends a message into your interactive broker account or your prop fund, wherever you're trading. I also believe that TradingView is compatible with MT4, MT5 platforms as well. If you want to send a message in there, and you can do that too as well. But the software that I have, the one I got made, it's only for interactive brokers. So this message here is for interactive brokers. It basically takes the strategy, says, okay, buy or sell. It takes this message here, sends that message to the middle software, which I'll show you in a minute. So you put your message in here according to whatever your software. I know a lot of people use Traders Post.io, and their message is a little bit different than the one I put in here. Okay, and then for all the software, doesn't matter which software you're trading in the middle, you need to set up a called webhook. Webhook, you come in here. They all have IP address. This one here, TradingView, sends signals from here. It can send it into your prop funds software, Traders Post.io, or the software that I use. So the software that I use is here. I'm going to show you. This is my middle software. This is called Electro Bridge. This is the one I use. So it sends a message in here, and all the messages come in here. Not in here, right? Sorry, right in here. Where's my message? Sorry, maybe sometimes I forget here which is which. So I have to click on here. So it sends all the messages in here. Then from here, it sends a message into your interactive broker. So whatever here, you look at it, it tells you in here. This is the software that I use to communicate with that. Okay, so that's what I use, and that sends a message in your interactive brokers and trades there. Okay, so very simple. That's how you set it up. It's not difficult, but the only thing is you need the middle software depending on where you get it from. You got the Traders Post, which is fine, or if you want to use my software, like I said, you can use my software. Its only problem with this one is it is good. It's only for interactive broker, and the problem is the licensing fee is only $100 on this. Once you pay the $100 fee to the person that actually created the software, then after that you can, it's yours to use forever pretty much. Traders Post, you're paying $60 or $70 a month. Okay, so this one here, I like this one here. You can set it up on in the cloud. You can set it on your own computer, and if anybody's interested, you can DM me and I can show you how to set that up. Okay, if you want to use my software, like I said, only problem is the guy who created this software, he charges a user fee for anybody new. You will put your email and address in there, and it keeps kind of track of it who's using the software. Okay, so that is for that. And again, it's very easy setup, very simple, and that's how you do it. And how do you trade with it? That's the next thing I'm gonna go over, is when it takes a trade. For example, when it takes a short trade right here this morning, the way the algo is set up, it closes the trade pretty quick. It goes from there to here very quick. But I like doing, because I like to stay in a trade longer. Okay, I like to, instead of closing the trade right here, I may want to close the trade here. I may want to take the trade all the way here. I want to take more risk. Okay, so I let the software take the trade. This thing takes the trade. Then what I do, I go back in here and I go to that software right here, which is this one here, and I have another thing. I have this enable execution. So as soon as it takes a trade, it goes tick, 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 and takes a trade. I come in here, I go in enable, I disable it. And then I push save. Once this thing is saved in the disabled position, it's not gonna let the signals go into your traders, interactive brokers. It's not gonna let any signals go past that. The signal is going to come in here, but it's not going to go into your interactive broker account. Why? Because I want to close the trade myself in interactive brokers, because I don't want a short little profit. I want to go for bigger profit. So for example, like I said, if it took a trade here, it's going to close pretty quick because it's set up to take short profits, right? But it doesn't stay in the trade long like it would be. It should have stayed here all the way here. Then it will also, once you stay in the trade longer, it will ignore all these trades. See these little trades that takes on the way down? It would ignore all those trades. But I do want you to remember, once you disable this, this software automatically is not going to close your trade. You're going to have to close the trade yourself. So remember, it can go the wrong way on you. You're going to have to close it yourself. Okay? So remember that. Once you disable it, I like doing it because I know a lot of people are using it that way. People are trading it because the problem is they don't know when to get into a trade. This will get into the trade for you, but you have to get out a bit bigger profit. So this would have got out like at almost $150 profit here. This trade actually ran from, once it took it from 118, it went all the way down to 724. It ran almost 100 points on the NASDAQ, 100 points to the downside. That's almost $2,000 profit. Instead of you closing here just on 200, it's almost like a $2,000 profit. Imagine just catching $300, $400 more. That's your trade for the day. You're done for the day, right? So that's why a lot of people, like, I know there are a lot of people out there. I have about so far 25 people using this algo this way, 25 people, and all of them are doing pretty good. Okay, they're not trading every single trade. Then the rest of the day they basically say, you know what, I made my money. A lot of people made their money on this trade alone, and they're saying, okay, I'm done for the day. Or they're, especially early, when I trade early in the morning, like this one here, that's a big run up to the upside. Even getting into this trade here, right where I would have got into the first time, this was 176. This is 8:45 in the morning, but the trade ran all the way to 260. This was what, 175, all the way to like 250. That's almost like 160 points. So this is like $3,000, $3,500 trade if you had stayed in very quickly. And how long would it stayed in? This is a 3 minute each candle, right? And you would have been done for the day, right? So yes, we are, and the algo took the trade for you, but all you have to do was shut it off and just follow it. And when you got a bigger profit, get out of the trade. Very simple. Okay, there is a lot of improvement on the algo. I am making it so it gives you a little bit more accurate trading. But I'm gonna show you something manually as well, to how to take the trades as well. Okay, so far that's how you take the trade. Like I said, once you take in the trade, and actually the trading view has closed the trade. Remember, once you disable this here, you gotta let you gotta let this thing close that trade. Once that trade is closed on the trading view, then you enable it. If you enable this before this trade closes on the trade, and you close this trade, and the trading view hasn't closed the trade, and you haven't you put this back to enable, you know what it's gonna do? When this closes a trade, the signal is gonna go through, and it's gonna do the opposite in your interactive broker. It's gonna, instead of closing the trade, it's gonna open a new trade. So do remember that once when you're enabling this back on, make sure the trading view has closed that trade. And then once you're done, once you see the trading view has closed it, then you go back in here and enable it and save it. You can do the same thing in Traders Post IO. All you have to do is pause it or close it and restart Traders Post again. It's the same thing. I don't use Traders Post. I know a lot of people who do, all right, because they want to use for prop funds. That's fine. There are many other softwares. I've been looking. There are a lot of more middle softwares, and you can also have softwares made by people out there. If you go on Freelancer, on Works, there are all kind of people who create these kind of software, but they do charge you money for it as well. It's that's their work, right? So have anybody got a question before I continue on manual trading? Any questions on how the auto setup, anything what I just talked about? It is recorded, so if you do miss something, you can go back into the recording and view it over and over. Okay, so but remember, you also have to go into your interactive broker and set that up. Your trader, all you have to do is go into the API section. It's very simple, and I will, if anybody's interested how to set it up in the thing here, in the paper, the interactive broker API. I can also do a little like a setup for that later on, and I can actually make a video and put that video setting up your API. That's what interactive broker is really good for. You can, automation, and they love to do automation, and I love to do automation. And there are a lot of people out there doing automation. I am doing a lot of algos, guys. I'm working on different algos. Soon as I get one better and better, I will share it with you. I will let you know. This is something that I love doing extra here. And there is no charge anything extra for all these algos. They're part of what your membership is paying. Okay, so if I find something better with better ways of trading, You guys know I'm very much open. I don't hide anything. I will share it with you. Okay. So let me go a little bit of manual trading. If anybody doesn't have any question, I'll pause a few minutes for anybody that have any questions.
Do we have a recorded session of this? Because I missed it from
Yeah,
beginning.
yes, I am recording it, Paji. It's recorded. It's continuing to record, and as soon as this one over, I will post it in our video there in the YouTube. But
Thank
here,
you.
how to get off the trade against you? Oh, against you. Okay, what if let's for example here, say let's go over this trade. If it goes against you and you shut your thing off, and now the software is not gonna get you out of the trade. Now you're gonna have to get out of the trade yourself. So if you get into a trade here, remember one of the couple of things that I use to getting out of the trade. One is here, this line here. If the price comes up here and closes above here, right? That's one way of getting out. Okay, is if you're coming above the white line, if you're trading manually, it is that's one way of getting out. The second way is if this line, if these lines are close to each other like this here, and it takes a trade, this is then I would use this line. Okay, that the other thing actually I use also is my, if you go into our Algo 4 guys, put your overlay your Algo 4. So if you put Algo 4 in here, let me bring it up. It's coming up. Hey, just give it 1 second. Another thing I use is when the price closes above the white line. That's another way of getting out. Okay, when I'm using this, I use the white line. I don't use the triangles. I use the white line just for this algo alone. Okay, Devinder, did you understand that, what I'm saying here? So if the price gets up above here and closes above here, get out. This is the first line, second line. Okay. But once this algo takes a trade below, another thing I want to explain to you guys is if the trade takes here, let me go back. Sorry. If the trade, only take the first trade. Don't take the second, third, or the fourth trades, because the algo does take those trades. You only take one trade per pivot. This is when the price goes below the pivot, only take one trade. Don't take the second or the third trade. Okay, you should make enough money on the first trade because these extra trade. So you can take, once the trade goes back to the upside, you can take the trade, but if the trade goes below here, this is another pivot here. If the price goes below here, then you can take another trade. Okay, you can always pause that software. Yeah, the wicks. Yeah, the price that's that's shaking people out. When there's a wicks there, Pete, that's a shaking. Anybody's trying to go now short. Everything is set up, right? So that the wicks always taking you out. But you can avoid all that. You can avoid all that sometimes is when you're manually trading. I love manual trading. How do you manual trade? Because I'm constantly looking at the chart. So this morning there were a few manual trade setups that I didn't even use the algo. I didn't use anything. I have my algo running. I have my manual stuff running. So where is my manual stuff? Let me move this out of the way. How I traded manually this morning. So let me move. Sorry, I got too much stuff running here, guys. Sorry. So this is my manual. You guys know all this setup, right? This is where I do all my manual stuff. I use the TTM. Everybody should know the volume profile and our reversals, right? This is where I use manual trading. So right now, let me show you the latest. So I'm set up. I'm trying to see is now we're running around 1 o'clock time. You guys pretty much know after 11 to 2 is not to trade too much because the market doesn't move that much, even though the market is consistently moving up slowly like this here today, but it's not moving very fast. It's moving a snail's pace. This is where the market is moving fast, right? So we want to make a trade. Let's say I'm looking for a manual trade without any algos, without anything else. Where can I get into the trade? So I have drawn this trend line right now. What I'm looking for, I'm looking for this trend line, right, to break to the downside. I'm looking for the price to break below here. So if once the price breaks below here, I'm looking to go short. Okay, so when I do go short here, what am I looking for? I'm looking for my volume profile to tell me that there is selling going on, right? I'm also possibly looking if somebody's can give me a red triangle here to verify this is going to possibly reverse to the downside. And the third, the most important, what do we look for when we are manually trading? Three things, guys. Remember, I always talk about, I'm talking about volatility, volume, and price action. You need those three things if you're day trading. And if you don't have even one of them, you're not going to be very successful. Right now, we have no price action, right? There is no price action. How do we see that? Price action happens when when we start getting big candles like this. Price starts moving up and down. That's when we get price action. When do we get volume? When we see these bars starts increasing on the volume profile. All of a sudden, volume is coming in, right? So that's the other thing. And the third thing we're looking for is the market's not going sideways. And the red dots here tell us the market right now is moving sideways. Okay, so we want to be in the green zone. See this green zone? That's when the volatility sinks in. That's when we want to be, look, we got a signal for a short. We got the algo volume profile telling us, hey, we're going short. And yeah, we actually got a signal here to short. This is almost like everything is pointing to you, hey, if you're not going to take a short now, you're never going to take a short, right? And what did this thing do? Make tons of money just in a very short time. So what are we doing here? We are waiting here. I actually do a trend line. I'm looking for volume. I'm looking for price action. I'm looking for volatility. And right now I got nothing. And I got a little bit of volume here, but the market's not moving. I'm trying to get price action. The candle is getting a little bit longer, but I need this to break below this here with volume. I need the volume to pick up here as well for that to go short. Okay, so this is how I trade on I'm basically scalping and trading. And if you're trading options like 0-day expiries, this is how you trade it, right? You're looking for price action, you're looking for volume, you're looking for the volatility. If you don't have those three, you're not going to be able to trade. So like right now we are breaking below this green line here. We're getting price action here, and something might be happening in the market. What is 123? We're also getting a little bit of volume. So this is where I would go short, right below this here. And how many points so far it has done? It's 89, almost a couple of points, right? But we haven't got us. What I would look for is let this close below here, and we are the candle here. The histogram is picking up. You see that little bit of volume is happening right there, but this is usually the worst time I like trading. I don't like to trade between 11 and 2:30, and those are the best times. This is where people are actually gone for lunch with the big traders, so the market doesn't move a whole lot. But come around early in the morning, come around after 2:30, 3 o'clock, the market moves, and that's when you want to be in a trade, and that's where you want all the signals as well. Even though this is pointing me to the short, I would not be long here. And if you were, I would take my profit. Chances of this coming to the downside are good, because this market is telling us right now, we got a little bit of volume here. We got a volume profile that is telling us, hey, there's a selling going on, and this is trying to go to the downside as well. But remember, this is 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon we're looking at, unless somebody's speaking out, the Fed. Who is talking? Is anybody talking? Just quickly to take a look at Fed Daily was talking. I don't know if he's still talking or not. He's 116. As per 116, he was still talking. Maybe he's moving the market right now a little bit. Again, the market only moves this time around if something is going on. So let me show you some of the trades that I got into this morning. So This was earlier in the morning, and I love trading this time of the night because the market is so smooth. And one of the things was that when I was up, got up in early. I got up around 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I was even I think Buddy Jag was even talking to me at that time. Pretty after that, I went pretty much sleep. So I was if you look at that, what I did was I looked at 2 points as the market was coming down. So I was here before I even got to here. So I actually my first trend line was right here. And what I was looking for this is I was looking for this trend line to break to the upside with volume, right? So it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So I kept on extending as the price kept on coming down. I kept extending this line. Okay. So after finally I extended every time a candle would come near it, I would extend it. I extended it to here. It didn't break out above it. So it went right back down. So I kept on extending it. Finally, in this area, the price started to go above here. But look, the candles were longer. See, you're getting longer candles. And look at the volume. Volume picked up. The candles started going, right? Eventually, this got into the red dots went away, right? It got into a green zone right there. But I got into the trade much earlier because I was starting to see these candles long, and plus the price started breaking up, and also the price also got above the white line. And finally, I even to double, I actually was in a trade a little bit earlier here. But this even verified my even trade when this turned green triangle here. This even gave me a strong signal this was going to go up. And this was a very good trade. And what trade was it? It was taken around 680, 870. This it's 880 somewhere there. Let me just check where I took it from. 881. That's where I took it. They actually got into a trade at 881 here. And what I did, I close it up. I went all the way up very quickly. It was like 100 points, 110 points. And I finally closed it, I think, somewhere on this candle. Was very strong to the upside. Why did I close it back here? Because I was looking back here. I said, you know what, it's going to get to here. And that's where I took the price and I closed it there. So that was like a big that's my day. And do I have to trade for the rest of the day after that? Taking 100 points, that's two grand in the morning early. And do I need to trade the rest of the day? No, I don't need to trade the rest of the day, right? And then it actually later on give us another trading right here. Actually right there, there's another setup here. Here actually at that time I was doing it quietly while you guys were doing it. So this was another breakout here. Look at the price action, their volatility green, right? And at the time here, this was signaling green. This histogram. Remember, these things change over time, but at the time, this thing changed green. And then also got a green triangle here, just pushed it up. A lot of volatility, but still got about 50 points out of this, right? So that's how you can trade manually. What you need? Volatility. You need price, action, right? And you need volume. Three things. Once you have them, you will there's a little bit of price action happening here and this volume here. But my problem right now is this. The volatility is indicating the market's going sideways because what am I getting? Red dots here. So that's why I'm not going to get into this trade here. If this was green, I would be getting into it and you would probably see more volatility. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Any questions? Everybody's good?
Everybody's good.
Anybody? Sorry ਭਾਜੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ question ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ. Okay. So this is the best way to trade, guys, manually out there because you are your own trader. You know where you're going to get into a trade. You know where you're going to get out of the trade. In some algo telling you what's going on or somebody else telling you what on. Best way to trade is to be your own trader. And this is the best way to trade. Practice. Because one of the things TradingView tells you, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go to the bottom here. I'm gonna go to the bottom here and go back in time. Go back in time. Pick a day. Doesn't matter what day. Pick a day without looking at the chart. Pick a day. Let's say you pick up September 9th. You don't know what happened on September 9th, right? So you're going to pick September 9th here. And this you can replay, right? Go to September 9th. So now we are going to September 9th. This is we don't know what's going to happen on the right side here, right? We know what's happened here, but we don't know what's going to happen on the right side here. So what you're going to do is you're gonna here go to replay. Let's say go to right and continue. Sorry, I don't know what did I do. You know what? Sorry, I think I ended up changing the charts here somehow. Hang on. Let me go back to. I was doing ES, right? I don't know why I changed the chart. So let's go back here. No, replay. Do you want to exit? Yes. Sorry. Let's set it up again. Let's go to replay again. Sorry, let's pick a date again. September 9th. We picked out, right? Go to September 9th. Now go back to, it's already replayed. So it's already replays it. So I can pick up any point. We know this year market's been going up. So I don't want to know the market was going up. I want to go right here. And now I don't know what happened here on the right hand side. I don't know, right? So when I did this, you're gonna start. You can play faster or right here is your settings. How fast you want to replay. When I'm training myself, I go to 0.2. It is a little slow, but I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's happening in the candles. I want to know what's happening on the volume here. I want to know what's happening on the TTM squeeze. So right now, what would I do right now to set up if I wanted to trade manually, what would I do here? Okay. So the first thing I want to do is go to the higher time frame. I want to go to if I'm trading on the 1 minute, I want to go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Go to the 15-minute time frame and see what you see on the chart. Okay. One of the things I see is this here. Let me draw this line again, trend line. Remove here. So I want to draw it properly. So one of the things I see on this here is I want to go back up here. I want to draw a trend line properly. This is my trend line. So when I draw this trend line, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the price to break back to the upside with volume, price action, and volatility. Okay. So on the 15-minute, this is the 15-minute trend line, right? I also want to take a look at an hourly quickly. What's going on the hourly? Hourly, I can see this thing market is falling. So look like the price action is to the downside. So I better be careful when I take a long because this market is going to the downside. So when I do have a long setup, so I better be careful, extra careful, even though I might get the setup, but the overall market trend is to the downside. So my trade would be a lot better if I took it to the short side, to the downside. But I need the proper setup to the downside because my proper setup was here properly, the first one, but I missed it, right? This was my setup right there, right? This is where I would have gone short. This is where my trend line would have broken to the downside, right? And I also have a support line here. And once it broke, this was a huge on September 9th. This was on, Friday, September 10th. Okay, this was on September 10th when the market went all cracking down. This was what, 10 o'clock in the morning? So must have been some news come out, boom, all the way to the downside, right? That's what I would have been looking for. So I draw my trend line, this one here, and the most recent one that is in play is this one, right? But the price is already broken up. See here, I didn't see that. The price is already broken. Look at the price action on this. Okay, so and the price has broken up to the very, so look at this is green down here. And also remember these bars, even though they were red, when they were red, they're way out here, they start going in. What happens when the red bars start going in? That means people come in, they're started to buy. Okay, so these bars probably sitting out here at the time and they started to go back in. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the 1 minute, 1 minute or the 3 minute, whatever you're trading at. So we drew our trend line, which broke, the price already broke to the upside. So we don't have a very good trend line right now, but eventually you keep playing it, you're gonna have a trend line. You will have a setup. So the short-term setup that I see is here. This is I see. But what time is this? This one is 8 o'clock at night. And I don't trade 8 o'clock at night. So I'm going to show you it anyway. So what happened at 8 o'clock? I would usually, when you replay, always go to the 2 o'clock time or 1 o'clock time in the morning. Okay, don't waste your time doing 8 o'clock. So this is right now 8 o'clock. Don't waste it. Go forward, go to 2 o'clock, then stop, pause it from there, then start doing that. So I'm going to quickly show you the replay here. Well, I think we'll go a little bit of faster time here. Let's go to 5. So we go and show you exactly. So what you're going to do, if the price breaks below this trend line, you're going to go short. But this is 8 o'clock at night, might not be a very good short below there, but not price action. So let's see, it's playing, right? I'm gonna maybe this even this is too slow for you guys. Maybe I'll go one time faster. Okay, let's go one. The faster goes better. If the slower, you get to see what's happening around you. Okay, so it's getting closer here. Look, the big candles, price action. Is it going below here? Look out, it could end up lower, right? But remember, we're trading at 8 o'clock at night, so it's going to be a lot of wild fluctuation. So this moved right back up. Nothing was happening. No price action was happening on the volume here. Okay, so I don't trade at that time. So if you want to even faster, there it's broke below the trend line. Boom, a little bit here. Again, a lot of fluctuations at 8 o'clock at night. Let's go to 2 in the morning. Let's go faster. So let's end up. The faster you play, the faster this thing will go. So I don't trade you guys all. I don't want you guys to be trading at this time of the day. This is what happens with the market. Look at all the red here. There is no volatility, right? When you want a volatility, when to trade, right? This green happened here, volatility. Look what it did, move to the downside. Okay. So we're going forward to around 1 or 2 o'clock. So we'll wait till we get there. But look how beautiful this trend is developing. This is what I like when you have a beautiful trend like this to the downside. It makes a beautiful trend line. It's like a little bit of round trend line, and you want to see the break to the upside. So this what time are we at? We are 12:30 at night now, around 12 o'clock. So I like to, when I'm trading, I like to trade around 1, right after 1 anyway. So here's 1 o'clock. What do you see in the market? You get up this time of the night, you're wondering where should I take the trade. So all you do is draw. One of the trend lines that I see short term is right there. Okay. So overall trend, take a look on the 1 hour. What's the overall trend on this market? Let's take a look. Is to the downside. So when I drew this trend line here, so I'm going back to the 1 minute. When I drew this trend line, this is going to make a good short if the price goes below here. Why? Because the overall trend of the market is to the downside, right? So if I got a volatility, I got the selling going on in the market, this is going to give me a good profit to the downside. So let's continue here, see if you actually get it. There's your price action, right? Price action, big long candles. This is green down here. There's selling going on here. Initial break. This is where I would have gone short right here on the second candle. And that would be so far 67, let's say 66.77. Let's see forward. So what this will end up doing. Actually moved right back up. This happens. So where do you get out? Above the white line. Okay. So you would have been out on the white line here. You would have had a very minimal loss, but it would have given you an opportunity somewhere to get in again. So after you have done that trade, after you've done it, so what's your next option? What you do is get rid of this trend line, and then you draw another trend line. There's another trend line here. Sometimes I include the wick, sometimes I don't. But there's a wick right there, and there's another couple of wicks here. So what am I looking next time? I'm still looking for this to break to the downside. Okay. Even I got a signal with the confusing signal here. Let's see what happens the next time around. Okay, so there's your break right there. And there's your price action. So you didn't get much here. You got a huge trade here. You're not going to win every single trade when you're trading. You're not going to win every single trade. But the most important thing is if you got to take your stop losses. You got to stick to it. And you would have lost maybe 100, 150, 200. But you would have made a huge amount of here. Right? Everybody see that? Everybody, and you can keep playing this. And you should be, and when you this setup, you should be able to win 8 out of the 10 trades. 8 out of the 10 trades you should be able to win and make money on. That's what my if I'm looking at my own trading, it's 8 out of 10. I'm not going to win every single. I'm going to lose. If anybody tells you that they win every single trade out there, I would run away from them. I would run away from them. 8 out of 10 is a good place to shoot. And there are people only winning 2 out of the 10 trades, believe it or not. And they're making money. 2 out of 10 trades. They're losing like 8 trades and they're winning 2. How are they doing that? How are they making money? Because the money management, they know exactly get out, so they don't have a huge loss. They get out very early, very quickly, and wait for something like this. That's the most important thing in any trade when you're day trading, is how you're managing your money, how you managing your losing trade. You're losing 100, 150 bucks here. You know this trade is going the wrong way, but you're hoping, you're dreaming, you're sitting there and praying that this thing is going to get back into the profit. Guess what it does? Way up here, you stayed in it. These are huge losses that you may never get out of. And by the time you get up here, you've blown your account already. Because you're probably averaging down, hey, I'll buy here, I'll buy here, buy here. Boom, that's it. That's how people blow their accounts. Go small. When you have a small account, take a small, when you did a micro, don't take the ES, take the MES. Take the micro contract. Don't take the big risk. Till you know that you are good, you're going to be starting to make money. Okay. So I think it's a good thing this happened. I'm glad it happened because money management is very important. And you can keep practicing like this, keep going. We can keep going. Well, let's keep going till 11 and see what happens. See if there's another setup here. Quickly, let's go. So remember, this is where you should have got out somewhere here. That was a huge profit. What? How many points? 66.81 went all the way to 72. Okay, that's $50 per point. So I like trade. This is ES, but I like trading the Nasdaq better. Nasdaq is 20 times points. So each ES is 50 points. The Nasdaq is 20 points per point. So still would have made a good money on this one. 66.81 all the way to 66.70, 10 points. That's 500 bucks on this trade alone. But let's say you only took 250, 200. You're not that greedy, right? So you took that much. So same, I like, my 99% of the trades, to be honest with you guys, is in the Nasdaq. Okay. So let me show you a Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq is more volatile. That's where I like to trade the most. That's the reason. So let me make this chart. Let's go cancel that. Yes. So I'm gonna go into get rid of. I got too many things here sometimes. I like to check. I like to experiment a lot. So let's go to the time frame. Let's pick another time frame here. Anybody have any specific time frame? Let's just go in here. Let's go back into August 13th. Let's go to the August lucky 13th.
But can you do on a 5 minute?
Yeah, I can do it on the 5 minute too.
I think 5 minute is better for the beginners.
Okay, let's go to the 5 minutes. So change this to the 5 minutes. Okay. So replay. Start new. Yeah. Okay. So this was on. Sorry, this is. I need to stop this here. Hang on. I need to go back to a date. 13th. Go. Now set a replay. And we can pick out any. I like to pick out here because I already know what happened on this side, right? I want to go what happened right here. But this is 3:35 in the morning. Okay. So let's go here. We'll move the time up. So this is 3:35. I'm gonna move fast to 1 o'clock in the morning. What did I do? Oh, I did it on the wrong chart, didn't I? I did it on the ES. Let me stop this here. Let's change this to NQ. Okay, so let's go do it again. Sorry about this. Replay, start new, but I wanna stop. August 13th. Go to replay. Here we go to the right side. This is 8 o'clock at night. So we moved it to August. This is August 13th, guy. 12th, Sunday night. I'm gonna move it forward to around 1 o'clock because I don't like. But look at the trend line here. It could be a good break to the downside here. Okay, so let's go forward. I don't like trading this time of the day, but look how it's hugging that trend line. Yeah, this is what happens, especially 8 o'clock at night. That's the reason I don't like trading them. So we're gonna wait to look at the flag. Look at all the red here. That's basically saying if the red market is moving sideways, you don't want to trade market like this. You want to when it's green, when the market starts moving. Right? This is Asian time. The market opens up, a little bit of movement, not much. You know why these trend lines are there, guys? You know why these are? I didn't even draw them because what I did probably at that time on August 13th, I drew this trend line, but I never deleted them. Okay, that's why they're showing up right now. So I'm gonna delete them anyway. Don't need them. We'll redraw one. You guys know how much I do this market, so let's see. There's another trend line that I drawn. I bet you the price probably hugged up here on this trend line. This is how I trade. I trade manually more than I trade auto. And you see how, this trend line was drawn back then. And you can see how the price is touching this. I wish, this is like a prediction. I wish I could predict like that. So here we are. Let's take a look. We are at 1 o'clock. The first thing we want to take a look at is when you start trading 1 o'clock in the morning. Whatever time when you first start trading this, what you want to do is you want to take a look at take a look up here on the 1 hour. What's the trend? What is the overall trend? The overall trend is the market is to the downside for the 1 hour, and this would make a pretty good short to the downside. Right, market is trying to recover, but the overall trend is long term is to the upside. But we are trading short term time, so 1 hour is basically a trend to the downside. So a short trade would make pretty good sense to the downside, right? So let's go back to the 5 minute. So we know we don't have a good trend. Also, no, go back to the 15 minute. See if we have any trend lines here. So we got this is a very good trend line right there, right? So actually we can go, let's get rid of this. I'm gonna draw another one because another one looks even better. You go from here and you go right here. Oh, come on. Okay, so you got your trend line. What we're looking for this trend line is we're going to be looking for a break to the downside with price action and volume, right? We already got the negativity in the market, but we do have a little bit of a zone here where there's buying going on. Okay, so let's go back to the 5 minute. Now we got, there's our trend line that we drew on the 15 minute, right? There's another trend line we drew earlier, but let's see if we get now break to the downside. So play. We haven't got any break there. Let's go to the lower. I want to make it slower so you guys can see properly. Okay, let's go to 3 minute time. So what we are looking for is the break to the downside. It looks like it's happening here, a little bit longer candle, but the problem is we got red dots down here, right? So the volatility is not there. See how the volatility is just not there, and you need volatility to trade. So let's continue, see what happens, see if you can get volatility in here. Still sideways, still no volatility. Now we are starting to get a little bit of volatility, but where's the price action? We don't have price action. Even volatility is very low volatility, even with the green dots. We are not getting any histograms to the upside or to the downside. That means there's very low volatility in this market right now. So what is it doing? This is what's it doing. It's sideways. You can always move this. See this trend line here? I'm gonna remove it. Oh, what did I do? Okay, I wanted to move this. I deleted what? Oh, I moved all my indicators. How do I do that? How I undo it? I have a button here somewhere. So
That press Control Z. Maybe that works.
Control Z?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to delete this trend line, and I wanted to readjust the trend line to here. You don't have to stick to the trend line you drawn. If you see a better trend line, draw it. Okay. So what we are looking for is a break of this trend line to the downside to go short. And we're looking for price action. We're looking for volatility. The reason we are not looking for a long trade here is because the market trend is where? To the downside. So let's see. Let's continue. If you don't get it, why get into a trade that you want to lose? You may lose money in, right? You want to set up. It's very, very slow. What did I do? 0.3. Let's do 0.5. A little more faster. That's where a lot of people lose patience, is when you're waiting to hit this in, trying to break through. A lot of people end up, oh yeah, I think it's going to go down. You take a trade here, and when you take a short trade here, boom, all of a sudden it goes to the upside, right? So here we are, the price has come. Now I'm getting excited, I'm awake, because the price is now, we are the trend line. See what's happened? We got volatility. We have the red here and possibly a short. So let's see what happens here. Okay, we are below, and I'm probably gonna go short. I'm still looking for price action because these candles are not long. I'm looking for price action. Price action is not there. And there we got there is no volatility either. Now we got the red dots back. So always have three things together. Here we got a short signal on our algo. Our algo is giving a short signal, but there's no volatility here. And there's also buying going on here. So be careful of, you know what? I can avoid this and say, you know what? I'll wait for another trade. Because if you are not sure, you're not going to get into the trade. You're not going to be losing money. You want a trade that has a volatility in it. You want to know that you have a price action in it. So far, I don't see anything to short this. Even though I got a short signal here, doesn't mean I have to go into a trade. I don't look at this green. This is green over here. And the red dots are telling me, hey, there's no volatility. So why do I want to get into a trade? So let's play it, see what happens. We'll go forward. Nothing happening in the market. This is where a lot of people make mistakes of going into the market. We got a little bit of long candle, but no, still no volatility. I know it's when you're sitting at this time of the day, you're ready to trade, but nothing's showing up for you, right? If it doesn't show up, why you want to get into the trade? Now we are also getting in the morning around 8 o'clock. Here's the price action we got. So it just dropped below here, and we also got the green dots. Should you take the trade, right? What you could have done is move this triangle here. You could have moved it. Well, I wasn't paying attention, but you could have moved it to here, right here. But then here you got your price action. Again, the volatility is not huge amount here. That's the problem. There's no volatility here. But anyway, I would have avoided this trade. I wouldn't even got into it. I wouldn't have gotten into it because it wasn't a very clear trade to me. And look what it's doing. It's still going sideways and may possibly go back to the upside. So why take a risk? You want all three things in the market. Okay. Let me just yeah. So that's what's happening there. You know, in the market right there. See what it's doing? You would have been just losing money. So even though we got one candle, but the volatility kept on telling us, the volume kept on telling us that it's not there. Okay, even though this is 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, the market's doing nothing on this day on the 5-minute chart. Look at this all red. You stay out of the market. Long as you get the red dots, you don't even think about getting into the market. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Or if you guys like sessions like this, I can do more often at lunchtime. Every day we can do a training session, something like this. How to get in and manually. If you guys all want this here, just let me know. Every day we can go through the trades in the morning that happened. This is the best way to learn, is actually getting into trades yourself. And then when you learn it to trade here, you can also compare what is the algo doing at the time. Should you get into the trade with the automatic algo, right? It just makes your winning, your learning much more, secure. 8 out of the 10 times you should be able to win these trades when you get into the right time, right place into it. Anybody have questions? Anybody want me to show you guys anything else? Okay, I'm gonna stop recording here.